So
Go on an
that
adventure.
that being
Adventure, Charlie.
yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and I'm
Magically blurred.
gonna
Magical.
pull up my notes while you all are being weird here.
It's not my fault you've never seen Charlie the Unicorn.
is
It's
that
an
the
old
same guy? That's the same guy who did llamas with hats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I know
Yeah.
llamas with hats. You know,
Oh,
turns out
okay.
I'm a dangerous sociopath with a history of violence.
Professionals here.
Yeah, welcome to Code and Corruption. So, as you saw, hopefully you saw the opening video, it is in the future. Not too far, but as when I was pitching this to someone, I was like, oh, technology and social media have started to take over the lives of everyone here in, what did I say? Did I say it's 2044? What year did I say it was?
2055.
2055. There we go. There we go. See, that's why I got to. Oh, it's up here. It's over there on the notes. There you go.
I only know that off the top of my head because Repo the Genetic Opera takes place in 2056.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And you're not the only one to make that joke at me. There you go. So, yes, it's 2055, but like I said, I was pitching this to someone and I was like, people are going to be invested more in virtual reality, video games, and social media. And they went like they're not already. So take the world that we live in today. I don't want to say that this is a cyberpunk future. No, it looks very similar to our own, but technology is even more pervasive. Your Apple Watch and your phone now have probably a light holographic display. Remember the Google glasses? Well, they're back. And you have a heads-up display. Technology is everywhere. Everyone, nearly everyone, is chipped nowadays. It's a chip that's installed usually somewhere around your neck, and it allows you to interface with your devices better. It doesn't, to say, especially to the people of 2055, it's more of a quality of life upgrade than anything else. Remember before, I should say before, you gotta do the fingerprint to open up your phone. You don't have to do that anymore. It senses your pan, your personal area network. It knows you're there. Just the ease of using technology with virtual reality interfaces and things like that, it just makes it even more immersive. Virtual reality now, here in 2021, soon to be 2022, it's not everywhere, but it's starting to. We all see those YouTube videos, things like that. Well, now, just like everyone who has the latest Xbox, they've got the new Xbox that's VR ready. It's starting to be standard titles are released that way. I kind of think about 8 years ago, for those of us that are old enough to remember the Nintendo 64, first game with the 64-bit graphics, back in the day, we thought it looked pretty cool, but it was actually kind of terrible. That was 8 years ago. That was virtual reality. It was terrible. Now's where it's starting to look good. You're starting to really feel it, as it were. As technology and social media increases, cyber crimes increase as well. And that is our, I don't want to say heroes, our protagonists, as it were.
There you go.
You all work for the FBI in one way or another as part of a cyber crimes division. So, and with that, let's go around and meet our characters. Let me take a quick peek at my notes. So, for those that do not know much about Powered by the Apocalypse system, specifically KULT Divinity Lost, your disadvantages have no stat associated with them. Typically in the first episode or the first game, it's going to be a lot of rolling for the terrible things that happen to you. I'm not going to have everyone roll for all of them at the same time, because then that just suddenly puts in a ton of new plot information all at the same time. Can get a little overwhelming. That being said, though, some of it does apply. Mr. Harris, you're going to need to roll 2d10. You're rolling for one of your disadvantages. You may know, but we're going to keep it kind of out of the audience. So roll 2d10. There's no modifier. So you just tell me your result. You add it together.
12.
12. Okay, let me pull up you. Oh, no, wait. No, I was fancying this part, and I actually already wrote down the results. Sometimes I'm super prepared. So 12 is between, so 15 and above is a complete success. That's money. 10 to 14 is a success, but something typically happens. 9 and below is grab your ankles. So you did pretty good there. Let's see here. Mr. Harris, you find yourself, I don't want to say like you find yourself like you suddenly like just are somewhere. If this were a movie, as I like to say, the camera will dissolve into the shot of you at a kitchen, entering the kitchen. There is a young girl sitting there eating Fruit Loops. You would, of course, know as your daughter, and your wife is starting to pack up the lunch for the day. So what would you do on an average morning like this?
Well, walk into the kitchen, take a empty mug from the coffee cup rack, pour myself a cup of joe, mutter good morning, and not be able to mutter much else because I haven't quite woken up yet.
Gotcha.
Ruffle the kid's hair, plop down in a chair, and nurse the coffee until consciousness returns.
Gotcha. So you say hello to your wife. What's your wife's name? I don't have that written down. So what would you like your wife's name to be?
Barbara.
Barbara. Okay.
Your
And
standard wife name.
Ron and Barbara.
And what's your daughter's name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. All right, there we go. Always good. Tiffany. Okay, so you ruffle Tiffany's hair, and she's gonna kind of smile. Tiffany, we're gonna say is about 7 years old. So she kind of laughs. As she laughs too much, she kind of snorts in a little bit of the milk. Does not a worrisome cough, but a cough as she's like, and some of the milk comes out her nose. Dad, she says.
You're not supposed to breathe your cereal, kid. You chew and then swallow.
Yeah. So she'll take another bite of her cereal and chew at you, and then do that. You know, is that good, Dad?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
So as you begin to drink, your wife Barbara will come over, and she sets down the newspaper. Actually, there wouldn't be a newspaper. This is 2055. There's no newspaper. We're gonna say she will set down the newest tablet, yeah. So and it will kind of, you know, just like as they do now, will display various news stories and things like that. You pass over it. You don't even really look at it at this time. As she sets down for you a very basic breakfast, you know, just like it's like 2 eggs, and 2 eggs and toast, because you're running a little behind. That's why you're, you know, nursing the coffee there. Didn't sleep well? She says, sitting down.
Do I ever? You know, I remember when breakfast was good with things like bacon, sausage.
Well, you only have about 5 minutes for you to be out that door. So
No, they'll wait. Thanks, honey.
So she'll go. Let me see if I have something I can microwave real quick. We've got some of those. We got some of those quick Petridge Farms I don't even know if Petridge Farms makes sausage. I'm just making shit up. And there we go. What do they make? Don't they make popcorn or something? I don't know. So whatever. I'm Bob Evans is where I'm from. So wherever you're from, if there's a Bob Evans, they have like quick microwave. So she starts to go do that. And now I'm going to need you to make for me, Mr. Harris. You're going to make a perception check. So that's just at a +1 with you. None of your advantages will apply. So you're just rolling 2d10 +1.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. That's not good. So you don't necessarily notice the thing I was going to. Hold on. You succeed thing as I brought up earlier with you guys. You don't ever really fail in Powered by the Apocalypse. There's just a consequence. And I'll just here's what we're just gonna, because I want you to see this, but we're gonna have a few more consequences to this here in a little bit. So as you're sitting there, you take a bite of your eggs, and they taste a little funny, and then as that kind of. And then you realize you never had a daughter. So, and the kid will continue to eat their Fruit Loops. What's wrong, Dad?
Yeah, I didn't sleep well last night, honey. It's okay.
So as you notice, as you're starting to kind of, I would assume there's a little bit of motion. You bump that tablet that's next to you, and it will come alive. It's got a small little holographic projection of like the latest news story, and it says body of 7-year-old girl found slain, and you look over at this horrific image. And it is the person or the thing that is claiming to be your daughter. And then when you look back over at your daughter has, or your daughter is injured in the same amount as the same way we see on the projection. And she said, as she takes another bite of her Fruit Loop, she goes, "You should have protected the children, Mr. Harris." And then that's when you jolt awake from your nightmares. All right, let me check your thing here. So you are going to have to make a keep it together roll. Let me look up what that is. But you're going to have a -1 to it because you failed your perception check so terribly. So keep it together is a willpower roll. The good news is you're actually kind of let's see what you roll here. So your current willpower is +1, but with a -1, so you're at a 0. So you're rolling just 2d10 and tell me what you get.
10.
10. Okay, so the effort resisted. So I have you. Let's see here. It says we get to choose one because these are player moves. Okay, so you get to determine. That being said, if you're not sure, I can always give you advice, or we can turn to the audience. So you become angry. You become sad, scared, guilt-ridden, obsessed, if you want, or distracted, or you will be haunted by this experience at a later time. There are certain mechanical penalties for each one of these two, but let's pick the fun narrative one first, and then we'll talk penalties. So the one thing is haunted by at a later time. You're just pushing it down the road. So I'm not sure if that, so what you thinking here?
We're streaming, so let's lean into it. I'll leave it to the audience.
All right, audience. So here's what we're going to go ahead and talk to you. You guys are going to have 30 seconds to tell me what you think's going to happen. I gave you a list, but don't feel like caught to that. So here's what happened, and what we're going to learn more about Agent Harris is Agent Harris has some PTSD from working with the FBI. So who is this child? Maybe we'll learn more about it. Maybe you got something better to throw out. But yeah, he is haunted by his past. The common thing is going to be there's a reduction in stability, which is that's the mechanical penalty for a lot of these things. So let's see here. Mr. Cultist has guilt-ridden. All right, so that's the one there. I'm going to give 15 more seconds if we get anyone out. We got 2 for guilt-ridden. What was the obsessed? Was obsessed with the flashback an option? Yeah, he can be obsessed with this. And as I like how Phoenix is just throwing this out here, and I'm like, yeah, that's totally the one I'm absolutely prepared for. Let me tell you. All right, so we'll give another 10 seconds. We get 2 for guilt-ridden, 1 for Phoenix saying it is an option. Yeah, I would have to kind of go with it. I would say probably, maybe that crime was unsolved, and maybe that will come up later. So let's see if we got anything else. I'm going to count down for another 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, which I realized they're 20 seconds delayed from hearing me. So it stops now. I'm going to look here, 20 seconds. And then let's see. Guilt, like maybe he caused the crime. I like chaotic story here. I'm going to take some liberties, cause the crime. He's going to feel responsible for the crime. Like I feel, I don't think, I don't have Mr. Harris going around shooting kids yet. It's too early. It's game one. You know what? I think we're going to take chaotic stories option. I feel like we got 2 guilt-riddens. So we're going to say, so you're going to feel guilty over this, and we're going to let the narrative as we go on kind of maybe determine who is this kid. You know, maybe you're getting some ideas, maybe I'm getting some ideas, however they fall out first. Mechanically, you're going to lose 1 point of stability. However, because of your PTSD and your therapy or inability to actually deal with your trauma, you have an advantage called endure trauma. Is that you always reduce the trauma, any stability loss by 1. So it brings it to a net of 0. So outside of just, you get the role play feeling guilty, and I think we got some good narrative bits out of that. Thank you, audience. All right, let me check my notes. And with that, we will fade to black. So actually, you will wake up startled. We're going to say you roll over and look at the time. You're running a little late. You're like, shit. And then, like, as you move past the camera, that will transition us to you, Amber or Mina. You're at the office. Okay? You have decided to get here early for whatever reason that is. Maybe you have to get there early as certain conditions apply to you. That being said, I'm going to need you to roll one of your disadvantages. So you're just rolling, and let's see what you get. Just 2d10.
All right.
Hey, Apacho. Nice to see you.
13.
13. Okay, that is that's success, but maybe a little bit of a price. Let's look you up here. All right. So for the audience here, we didn't talk about our consent mechanics, which I'll go into here real fast. So here at TTRP Theater, and especially when you're playing KULT, it's a very dark game. Yeah, there's a couple of points. I'll admit I love this game. There's a couple of points little problematic in this game, but we're all adults. We have gone through Monty Cook's consent and gaming guide, marked things that we're comfortable with and not. We use the green, yellow, and red system. Green are topics completely open. There's a lot of those. I don't think we actually have any red topics, but yellow topics are things that we have to warn everyone that this topic is going to come up. And then red topics are things that we just, like, they happen in the world of KULT. They're just not the focus, or they happen off camera. I tend to use for particularly depictions of sexual assault and things like that. I use what I call the SVU rule. If you've ever seen an episode of SVU, terrible things happen, but it just never happens on camera. It's always about dealing with the fallout. So we have a few yellow topics. I won't necessarily go into them because I'd have to look them up and breaking away from the action. So that being said, upon discussing with Ember, the player, Ember took the object of desire disadvantage. And that's something I really encourage any GM to really, because I help make these characters. That's something you got to talk over with people. So I was able to talk over with Ember what that would, what they're comfortable and things like that. So that's an important one. It's definitely one of those disadvantages that can get out of hand on both ends of the spectrum. So makes for good story, but be adults about it. So there we go. All right. So with your object of desire 10 to 14, someone becomes desirous of you. The GM gets to make a hold. So what we're going to say here, Caroline, give me a name, a male name, please.
Rodney.
Oh, so his nickname is going to be Hot Rod.
Oh, God.
Because we're not going to make this guy redeemable whatsoever. So Hot Rod, as it's called, he's one of the, I don't know. You know what? He is fresh out of the academy, one of the new agents in the office. He is looking to get field work. Definitely a guy that that no real lady likes, but he thinks the ladies like him. So where are you right now, Amber Brown, in the office? What are you doing? It's early. We've established that in our timeline that Agent Harris is running a little late. So what are you doing at 7:50 in the morning at Langley? Langley, is that where the FBI is? I think so.
I'm at my desk, being the good little girl that I am, going over the case files that we're supposed to be going over, getting started and getting ready for the day. I have a pretty strict routine that I've been set upon, and I do my best to not deviate from it or let anyone know that I'm deviating from it.
Gotcha. Yeah, you are going to look like you're doing this. Okay, so quick yellow topic, everyone here. I'm going to play Hot Rod here. And I'm not going to be very polite, and I'm probably going to be a little too suggestive. Is everyone comfortable with that? Okay,
Super
so
green.
that's the yellow topic. Super green. Oh, yeah. So
His last name is Sanders, I've decided.
Rodney Sanders. Okay.
I'm like, what's the last name that makes him somehow more of an asshole?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know why it's Sanders, but that's what it is.
Yeah, watch that be like Chaotic Story's last name, and he's over here like, what? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Colonel Sanders.
All right, we've already got the names for him.
There you go.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before I get going.
Do you have the... No, tell me.
Oh, I might. Oh, I do.
Yes. Oh, no.
Yes.
Yes.
The last sleazy cult character to have these. They return.
Was a sleazy detective, in fact.
Yeah.
Was he a private eye?
Yeah, he was. He's private eye. Okay, so let's go ahead. So you're at your desk. I wish I had a coffee mug here so I could be a buddy. Right. So Hot Rod's going to sit at the corner of your desk.
Please use the chair.
I'd figured you'd appreciate the view.
There's not a window anywhere around here.
No, come on. So in defense of Rodney definitely is a guy that hits the gym more than that's healthy. Conventionally relatively attractive. It's just if only he would ever shut up and just not have his person. Yeah, well, now he does do leg day. Like, so he looks good, but everything about him ends the moment he does anything other than stand there. So. All right, so he'll grab one of the other chairs, bring it over. So what you working on?
I'm organizing things.
Oh, you're awfully early, aren't we? You guys don't start till usually around 8:39.
I get up about 5 and I start doing yoga. So I'm here early because it just happened that way this time.
Oh, you any good at that yoga? You got the Karma Sutra poses?
The Kama Sutra isn't yoga.
I know that, but I'm sure.
Oh, I thought you were confused.
So, I'm just kind of curious how flexible are you?
Extremely flexible. I can code and I can graph and I can stream and I can do all sorts of different things.
Okay. Amber, I know your story. It's no secret around here, but I'm not some senator here.
Too bad. Would have won your points.
I'll tell you what I can do, though. He's gonna he kind of points under the desk to your ankle. Might be able to sign you out to a fun location if you're willing to maybe go out Saturday. Come on. It's got to be boring just going back and forth between home.
Oh. Well, what did you have in mind?
Oh, well, I figure we could, we got a couple options. We could go out to somewhere fancy. Ever been to that, Brazilian place? I just got all the meat everywhere. It's good. Fancy place, nice time.
I generally like vegetables. They're bigger.
Oh, well, there's that vegan place over near Tyson's Corner.
Oh, I didn't say I was vegan.
Oh, well, I'm sure they've got something there that you'd like. It's, I hear it's pretty nice. I haven't been there yet, but, maybe it'll be the first time for the two of us.
Oh, what was it? I forget. They call you El Camino, right?
I don't know what El Camino means out of character, so I'm
It's a different kind of car. It's
gotcha.
not a hot rod.
Okay, gotcha. I got a nickname around here, Hot Rod, not El Camino, but you know.
Oh, sorry.
You know.
As far as that goes. No, I really don't know much about cars. It's computers that I know.
Well, you know the name. Why don't you think about it? He's going to pull out his card. You let me know if you're interested, okay? So he's going to stand... He stands up in his... not exactly... he doesn't have skinny slacks, but they're definitely very form-fitting, and he's going to definitely exercise those glutes as he walks away.
Thank you, Colonel Sanders.
All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll fade out on Rodney's glutes and head over to, let me check my next notes. I believe, let's see who's next. All right, we'll go to you, Special Agent, Supervisory Special Agent Elizabeth Townsend. You are on the Beltway, heading into the office. What are you doing in the car? Do you have like a routine? Are you listening? Are you listening to the radio? What do we have in this establishing shot? Do we learn about your character?
Yeah,
do you get a fancy car? Do you have a sedan? Let's learn a little something here.
You know, she has a it is on the lower end of fancier. It is definitely a coupe. Much to her family's chagrin. She has NPR on because NPR will forever exist. She's listening to NPR. She's got a to-go cup of coffee, like a travel mug. It's probably got some like vaguely cute. It's like vaguely cute design that clearly was given to her by someone else. She's got air freshener dangling from the rearview mirror. I think it's safe to say that cars are at least partially self-driving. Well, she's listening to NPR anyway, so like, she's like,
I like
also,
that. No, partially self-driving. Yeah,
partially self-driving. So she's also like touching up a little bit of makeup, you know, as she can, and scoffing at whatever news. She's like, seriously, again, this again.
How these self-driving cars work, just a little bit for our meta here. If you fall all the way in like what would be kind of the old high occupancy lanes, the two left lanes are self-driving. It will kick on your thing, and then the GPS alerts you when you have to take your exit. So self-driving really only works on the highway, but if not, it'll just keep sending you in a straight direction and, you know, along the dotted lines. Yeah. So with that though, because everyone's got a fancy LCD display and all that, there's going to be caller ID pops up, your mother. It doesn't say your mom, but it says mom.
It says mom.
It says mom, not your mom.
There are no emojis in the name. And she sees that. Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, listen, I can't talk long. I am driving to work, but I'll chat as long as
Oh,
I have
you've got a minute. And then you can hear your dad in the background like, quit bothering her at work.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah. Your dad is the one that's 25% on your side.
Yeah.
Like he's entertaining this. Mom, on the other hand, is not. So let me check my notes here real quick. So, how's work?
You know, it's been good lately. We're getting a new guy on the team. I'm not so sure about him yet, but you know, he seemed impressive, but
new guy on the team, huh? What's his name?
Ron. And
yeah, that's a nice strong name. He's got a government job. You should. I don't know why. I don't know why you didn't marry that last one.
Well, no, but that's because he was a Marine and was deploying.
Well,
And
you don't have to
also
worry
was
about
gay.
it.
So
you can hear your dad in the background. I knew it from the moment Mitchell was gay. Oh, hush, sweetie. You know.
He said that when he introduced himself, so
I could tell. You know, dad's just talking in the background.
But you know, Mom, I don't generally like to dip my pen in the company ink per se. If I'm gonna date a guy, it's not gonna be one who's going to be one of my direct I'm blanking on the
subordinates.
Word. Direct subordinates. Would not look good for me as a supervisor.
Well, your mom begins to go on this story about something about your cousins or what have you. And then you get another, the LCD screen will light up from Deputy Director Travis Mann.
Okay. Mom, I gotta go. Work is calling. I love you. Let's talk later, okay?
Okay. Okay, call me tonight. Click.
Director.
Elizabeth, I need you. How far are you at? Are you in the office yet?
Not quite yet. ETA 5.
Okay. 8:30, my office, just you.
Affirmative. Just out of curiosity, is this going to be disciplinary in nature?
Did you fuck up already?
No. I don't know if I've done something to make you mad, sir. I just would like to know to steel myself. It is first thing in the morning, after all.
We just got to talk about something. Something's come up.
Of course. I'll be there as soon as I can.
And with that, we'll fade over to you, Miss Cruz. Miss Cruz, I'm going to need you, though, to roll me a disadvantage.
Right.
So 2d10. Let's see the result. It's so fun. I have to keep grabbing the wrong mouse for all these computers I have around me.
That is an 18.
8? Oh, well, boom shakalaka. There we go. Your cursed disadvantage is not going to rear its ugly head at you. So there we go. Let's have you already at the office. Okay, so you're moving. you're heading down the hallway, and you know what? I want you to describe what your character looks like walking down the hallway. This is the establishing shot. The audience learns a little bit about you of how you're moving here. I would like it to look, but that being said, I think it'd be, well, let's let you do it. So
Okay.
What do we learn? The camera comes down, you're walking down the hallway. What do you got in your hand? You've got like 5 million files. You know, what do we see?
Minimalist, and everything is gray. So it's like I take the middle path, and including in my clothing. I have a folder, it's gray. I have a pen in my pocket. I do have a briefcase. I have attractive yet comfortable shoes. They're, like a 2-3 inch heel, and I'm really tall. I'm like almost 6 feet tall. And I keep to myself. I try to like stay out of people's way, but if you see me coming, I'm like the big gray cloud walking down the hall.
I like that. The person with the cursed disadvantage is literally the big gray cloud. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, you were going to come upon, you guys kind of have a, like a small little corner that's the four of you. You will approach, soon after. You'll, of course, as you go through like the, the bullpen, as we're going to call it, you'll see Hot Rod there, with his cup of coffee. He'll kind of give you the nod. And the person who's already there is Amber, sitting at her desk, organizing. And that's right. We discussed in our session 0.5, you three have a little bit of a fun banter relationship. So you all know about Amber. We'll just leave it that like that. So go ahead. You two will see each other. I'll give you guys a second or two to role play.
All right. Put my stuff on. Good morning.
Morning, Sel and Sandy. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing well. How are you?
As well as I can be. Getting everything set up and started for the day for us. Files on your desk, files on Townsend's desk, and files on Papa SVU's desk.
I think his name's Harris, but I like the Papa SVU.
I get so rattled when it comes to names,
Yeah. I saw Hot Rod walking by.
Oh yeah, I called him El Camino today. I thought that was quite clever. I don't even think he knows what different hot rods are, so I don't think he even took it as an insult. So I'm gonna have to come up with an actual like really shitty car's name next time I see him.
Marrow.
Marrow? I was thinking Nova.
Dodge Dart.
Yeah. Just trying to come up with some. Oh yeah. I was trying to come up with some just like real just lemons. I'm actually thinking about researching it so I can just come up with some just like everybody knows that these are like the worst of the worst.
Ooh, Colin Pinto.
Pinto. There you go. It's a good one.
Elizabeth, you walk in at this time.
Morning, boss.
Morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm running a little late. Remind me, what am I calling you this week?
Mina.
Right. Mina.
I just don't prefer Amber. I know it's my legal name, and I know it's on my documents and everything, but Mina's me.
Right. Miriam, are you ever going to join us for drinks?
No.
You should. I know
Okay.
all the best bartenders.
Well, we're probably going to go at some point this week. You're definitely invited. We'd love to have you.
Alcohol free? Alcohol,
Yeah, of
somewhere where there's food.
Yes,
course. All right.
I know just the place. And I can get us on the list, actually. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Just
I
tell me the
gotta,
day.
I gotta go see the boss. And don't get into too much trouble while I'm gone.
I've just set up the day for us. I've done nothing else.
That's what I appreciate about you.
Yet. So we're going to say Elizabeth walks around the corner, but we have a minute or two left. And finally, Agent Harris will arrive. He's not exactly late, but, was not as punctual as everyone else. I will give Agent Cruz, Miss Brown, and Agent Harris a chance to role play before we transition over to Miss Townsend's meeting.
Good morning, Agent Harris.
Morning.
Not like you to be so late.
You're muted, Mr. Harris. Happens to us all, don't worry.
Apparently, I'm not awake either. Yeah, sorry about that. I hit traffic on the way in.
Oh,
Everything okay?
Yeah.
how do you like your coffee? I'll get some for you.
Black, thanks.
Black like your soul. Be right back.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally.
Is Townsend in yet?
Yes, she just ducked behind the decks.
Meeting.
Oh,
Oh yeah, she had a meeting with the boss. That's what it was. Sorry.
no, you're good.
You don't look so good.
Yeah, you get old, you eat a pizza, it eats you. Yeah.
Okay, here you go. Attack of the Killer Maters. This is the cure-all coffee.
Thanks.
Do you want some Rolaids?
That'd be great. Yeah. Rolaids.
It's in my desk.
I have-
Rolaids.
I appreciate it. It's Agent Cruz, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll get it right one of these mornings.
It's okay.
Promise.
You can call me Miriam.
Right. Miriam. So what's on the docket today?
Well, that might be changed because our boss just went into a meeting with the boss. So everything that I've already set up might be out the window. Oh well. Shows me
Right.
for showing initiative.
Well, I guess in the meantime, then, if you need me, I'll be over here going down the rabbit hole of some computer thing I don't understand yet.
So as far as that goes, these first 4 folders are what you need to focus on. Everything else in that stack is a low priority. And I have very, very easy to follow instructions written out on top. So it should be a lot easier for you today. Okay.
I
I
love
appreciate
that.
that.
And with that, we're going to transition to Miss Townsend entering the deputy director's office. I'll hang up. Miss Elizabeth, sit down.
Thank you. She takes a seat and sips from her travel mug, takes a look at it with a cutesy animal on it, and just kind of sets it in her lap, covers it with her other hand.
Something's come up, and I know you're going to be upset, but we got a new case, and it's kind of hot.
Okay.
But some of the brass think I should give it to Coulson and his team, given what happened with Miss Brown and the senator.
Does this have to do with the senator?
No. About 4 hours ago, a man was discovered dead in his home. They're not sure what the cause is yet, but they made a discovery a couple hours ago behind a false wall. There is a plethora of computer equipment.
There it is.
So he'll kind of goes to the touch screen behind him,
Yeah.
pulls up. There's some pictures of this computer room, and it's woo. Judging by the equipment, my look at it and Coulson's team's look at it, I think this man's Daedalus. Who is Daedalus? Daedalus is like one of the most premier hackers. He's hacked the NSA. He's essentially, if there was a leader or one of the top guys in Anonymous, this is him.
So we think someone killed Daedalus?
We don't know what has happened. The police showed up after reports last night. They found him dead. And initially it was going to be just a typical potential homicide. And then they found this, and they called us.
I think you should give it to me and my team. I know that Brown will be able to, she'll be able to make heads and tails of all that equipment.
With all due respect, my concern is Miss Brown making tails with too many things. That has caused a lot of problems for this department in the past.
I've got a leash on her.
How do you now?
Well, she and I have a rapport. I like to think that I have a very good relationship with her. And I think if I ask her to not do things and keep a close enough watch, she will not do things.
I also
the attention
have...
she gathers from others is not always entirely her doing.
I'm not going to sit here and blame on whose fault it is about the situation with the senator.
That's fair.
I'm going to be honest. I want you and your team to have it. You have Agent Harris. He's worked these kind of crimes before. Frankly, the only reason he's in cyber crimes is because of what happened to him. And he's just getting back on his feet. He could handle something like this if this is in fact a homicide.
His resume definitely says he could handle it, but do you think...
I don't know.
All right,
Ms. Townsend,
you know what?
Can he handle it?
I think he can.
Are you willing to put your reputation, your team's reputation on Miss Brown's behavior and whether or not Agent Harris will be able to keep himself together?
Absolutely.
All right,
Got
it's
a good
yours.
team.
Don't fuck this up.
Thank you, sir. You know I'll make you proud.
All right, so he kind of grabs a small little disc. It's like small little USB thing. Here it is. We don't know much. It's a 2-hour drive to the scene. It's still fresh. I mean, as fresh as it's going to be. Local PD hasn't touched it other than more than canvassing the scene, sealing off the perimeter. No one's touched the computer. No one's touched the body.
All right. We'll get out there as soon as we can.
Okay.
And I will politely rush back to my desk.
All right. So there you go. I'm going to let you role play.
Elizabeth comes striding up. She's got a full 80s power suit sort of strut with her 2-inch heels. She's got the coffee in one hand. She's got, briefcase and the data stick, and just strides up, sets the coffee down, sets the briefcase, hands the stick over to Mina and says, all right, we've got a fresh case. We're probably going to go on scene here. I did want to talk to you guys. Are you familiar with Daedalus?
Yes.
Agent Harris, he is a hacker that has gotten into insanely secure places. The NSA, among many other places. 4 hours ago, he was murdered.
Daedalus? Are they sure that it's Daedalus?
As far as
They suspect.
allegedly, all signs point to it, especially given the computers that they found and all the hardware. I want the 4 of us to go and investigate on scene. They have not touched it, so it'll still smell to high heaven, unfortunately. Michael, you are still muted.
So messy, then, I'm guessing?
Or
Plug it in.
old?
Well, it's 4 hours. Corpsine starts being produced pretty quickly. So,
Mentholatum rub.
yeah, they'll probably have some Vicks. I've got
Vicks,
some
bro.
Tiger Balm somewhere
So
in my desk.
yeah, that being said, the 3 of you have never been on a crime scene where there's been a dead body. Agent Harris is the only one that has like experience of people being murdered. In theory, Agent Cruz and Agent Townsend, you each have weapons. You just very rarely need to use them. You probably, and I just say this in a vacuum, your qualifications are very bare. Mr. Harris, on the other hand, has all the experience in that area.
So I have 2 asks. First and foremost, Mina, can I trust you with this?
Yeah, I definitely want to know what happened to Daedalus. Everyone who's everyone knows Daedalus. I have to find out what happened.
I have staked my reputation on your good behavior.
I showed up early. I've been getting people coffee. I'm only behaving.
I promised other people I'd be on my worst behavior.
Exactly. I just have to make sure.
You trust me by
Secondly-
now, right?
Mostly. My second ask, Agent Harris. Given your recent history, are you ready for something like this?
Yeah. I've been desk surfing for 6 months. I mean, not even desk surfing, couch surfing for 6 months. I'm ready to get back in the saddle.
All right.
Plus, I really feel like I could be of some real use here for once, as opposed to sitting at the kiddie table when it comes to all of this stuff.
I agree. There's been it's more than a little serendipity that you joined our team and someone is murdered, so that we have something that all of us actually know how to handle. It's a 2-hour drive. Mina, you're with me. I'll send the address to all of us, and
Let me refresh your coffee.
So you arrive, there's like one news van outside just because, someone's dead and they're waiting for the FBI. That catches a little bit of attention. This is not national news or anything just yet. Yes, I love it. Amber. Yep, just cover my face. That being said, I love it when you guys, I gotta check something, Amber. Let me see. I don't think any of your flaws are people are looking for me, but I could be wrong. Let me look. No. You got your other one, but we'll roll that one next time. I feel like we've already had that. Okay, so and other than that, there's probably about half dozen police cars sealing off the area, things like that. You see the kind of the standard fare you see in television and in movies of this is a police cordoned off area, except like people are actually kept away. I've seen a couple of movies where like literally the reporters are like right next to the crash Like they could touch
Yeah.
it. I'm like, what? That is the worst cordoned off area. Like he could reach in there and grab the dead body and shake it for the camera if he wanted. So you've got a perimeter. You guys pull up. What do you do?
Following your lead, boss.
Yep, I get out, flash the badge to local PD. Especially
I'm
with
with them.
the FBI.
Let's see here. We're gonna do what do we?
Hide the lighter.
Detective Martin. As I'm just making names up here. I'm Detective Martin. Thank you guys for coming. To be honest, it looked like kind of a normal, potentially a homicide. We didn't get too far into it, but once we discovered the equipment, he says as he's leading you through the tape.
Mm-hmm.
We just felt like there was something up. Sent it to you guys, and you guys think it might be someone named Daedalus.
Potentially. If it is, then we have quite an interesting situation on our hands, but we can't confirm it right yet, just yet.
Gotcha. So this is a small. I'm thinking, to be honest, this is probably, I didn't write this detail. This is like it's a small rental property. There's just, it's a 2-bedroom kind of thing in the suburbs. Kind of a closer to the trendy area of this particular unnamed town in Maryland. Takes a little bit of money to rent here. So he'll lead you inside. For the most part, the place is kind of like just the decor of it. It's basic, but it has a little bit of a touch to it. Let's see if anyone. Let me see here. See if anyone's advantages apply for this little extra. You know what? I'm not even gonna roll because I feel like it's just a fun detail. Nothing that's. It's almost like it's plain, but the extra detail. Someone's mother helped decorate this. It's got a little bit of fashion sense, but it's kind of just live, laugh, love. But not quite super white girl basic, but enough of it to be like there was a basic white girl here sometime.
I smell pumpkin spice.
Yeah, exactly. You actually do not. That's not what this place smells
All we
like.
smell right now is that menthol on our upper lip.
Yeah. You go inside, and let me pull up my notes again as I switched over to something else. You will see this is there is kind of a decent sized living room, especially for this smaller place. There is that's where you will see the body. It's laying down. He is laying down on his back. Dried blood seems to have poured out his ears and left a very, very small pool behind his head. Not a lot. Outside of that, you do not directly see any injury wounds. In his right hand, just like as if it fell when he fell over, is a Glock 19. You will look over towards the east wall. There are several bullet holes in the wall. There doesn't appear to be any other blood. So if, you can assume whatever he was shooting at, he didn't hit. Other than that, so that's where the cop will take you to. So Detective Martin. We've ID'd the man as Brian Wright. He's apparently a freelance computer programmer. Current employment records have him working for, I wrote it down because I'm fancy, Potomac Studios. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have any roommates. He'll take you into there's actually steps that lead up to the loft. Here's one computer that we found, and when you guys look at it, this is a nice gaming rig. It's nice, nothing fancy about it, but your average streamer would be happy with it. It's password protected. No one's, it's still got the screensaver up. If you touch the mouse, it'll be, type in your password, but that's not what tipped us off. So he's going to lead you back downstairs, and he takes you to the bedroom, and there's a bookcase. The bookcase is real, but it's actually covering a door. He opens that up, and that leads to what would definitely, like, kind of in your mind be a hacker's den. That is the picture that you saw. The equipment here is some hardcore stuff. Because of the heat from it, while he keeps these things cool, the heat of it, this room doesn't smell kind of a generic household. This room smells like sweat, BO, and the smell of just computers running. He's got several different processors, things going to do a lot of computations and things like that. This is the one everyone's scared to touch because it has a password protection system, but it's definitely not anything that's like it's not McAfee or anything like that. So that is where Detective Martin leaves you.
That's okay. This is my playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for you and Cruz.
Right.
So where do we want to begin? It doesn't. I assume every character is going to start, but I mean narratively for the purposes of who wants to start.
Well, Mina comes in. She takes off her jacket. And she's like, "All right, this is my wheelhouse. I'm thinking 64-bit encryption, possibly more. What do you think, Detective Cruz?"
Yeah, probably so.
All right, so you two want to go ahead and just start throwing dice at this here. Let me check real quick.
First, we need to check for traps. If this is Daedalus,
Check.
He's going to have backups.
The D&D statement.
Yeah, check
For
for
traps.
And then you ask if the door is locked.
Mhm.
And then you ask if it's stuck.
Oh,
When it's intelligence networks. Okay, so none of Miriam's direct advantages at least help with the hacking. Doesn't mean you can't just roll, but I'm just looking for special abilities. That being said, I think I have to check you, Elizabeth, real fast. Your sheet, because I think you got some
I
BS.
have, checking at my advantages, I've got Puppeteer and I have 6 cents.
I'm thinking sixth
cents.
Sixth sense. I think. So Miss Brown, you have hacker. Whenever someone penetrates a digital network and produces confidential data or crack software or disabled security systems, you may make a reason check. So you ready to start hacking?
yep. I'll sit down at that chair. And
All right, so you're making a reason check, which for you, your reason is +1.
okay.
So
2d10.
2d10 +1.
18.
18. All right. Well, you will accomplish your task without a problem. So, however, here's what you're gonna kind of run into this particular problem. There is no way you're gonna be able to guess this guy's password. Like you within quick amount of work. You don't do anything to trip any fail safes or dead switches. Here's the thing, though. Like you're looking at it, you don't hack at it too long because there's just, if this is Daedalus, he's smart.
Yeah.
And to an extent, you're good, but compared to him, you're some rando. Some rando coming up to his rig, if this is in fact
I'm not
Daedalus.
even in his tier.
Yeah. So you try some stuff and you're like, okay, I don't have the equipment with me to do
able to
anything
hack
hardcore
this.
with this. Like
Yeah.
this is we gotta pack this up and take this with us kind of situation.
Yeah. I need a
which-
black ice pick.
Yeah, you're looking at this like this is this you actually looking at it and getting in there will give you the result. Like you can't, if this isn't Daedalus, which it may or may not be, but this is somebody who does something. Whether or not they've committed any cyber crimes with this, you're not certain, but it could. Oh boy, could you? This is, and it's got the, the VR enhancement and all that. Like I said, this is 2055. It's looking good. This is where half this guy's paycheck went to, is keeping this thing. So that's what you're doing, but your character is going to quickly come to the conclusion, like, I don't have the equipment with me to really with this yet. That being said, The gaming rig upstairs looks a little bit more like a mass market machine. That you might be able to get something with.
I could see if there's a backdoor on the other system, but I can't risk this one. I don't have the equipment possible just with the nothing that I have with me right now to try and break into.
You
this
brought like a
system.
work laptop and a couple of things, but nothing to deal with this.
Think we can take it into the office?
Yeah, I need a black ice quantum pick.
Okay. I'll send the message. I need this transport here ASAP to transport X to X.
All right.
But like I said,
before we
maybe
do
there's
that-
a backdoor.
I want to just find the serial numbers on the on this rig and then also on the gaming one.
Yes, because Miss Cruz, while you may not necessarily be a hacker like Miss Brown, you just know how to work the system. So you have Tracer. When you use intelligence next to trace someone or something, you get to make a reason check. So you're going to make a reason check. And I don't know what your reason is. Your reason is +1.
All right.
And tell me what your result is.
That is 11 plus 1, 12.
Okay, 12 is enough to succeed, but you can ask 2 of the following questions.
Okay.
Where in the world was this seen last? That's if it's like an artifact. What people have associated themselves with what I'm looking for lately? What tracks or marks have been left behind? And who else is trying to find what I'm looking for? Those are just examples, because I feel like not a lot of those may apply.
I do like what people have associated themselves with what I'm.
Oh, so yeah, you like quickly, you're going to be able to look at least with this. I'll give you this free one to the gaming rig too. How about that? Well, you know, the professional rig, and we're going to say narratively, Mina's in there working. You just kind of look around, take some notes, and then you go and look at the mass market machine upstairs. You know, let the professional do what she does. What you're able to tell is, yeah, this is some, you know, a lot of it is not. Some things, especially more generic things, are things you would buy on the market. The rest of it was put together.
Okay.
You know, like, oh, okay, well, this is, you know, he didn't build the CPU. The CPU's there, but it didn't come pre-assembled with everything else in this rig. Because he's got multiple machines doing processes and things like that. Because that's how you can do a blitz attack on a system, is if you just bombard it. So you go upstairs to the loft while the rest is looking at it, and you're looking at this thing. Here's something very quickly. You're able to find out some of this material that you're able to find out, it's not necessarily his. This is probably his work laptop, or this is his workstation that's kind of signed out to Potomac Game Studios. So the good news there is, if it hasn't been tampered with too much, they will have his passwords. And his work might be backed up there. So if there's anything leading, you know, if there's any information to be found, you might be able to find it there. So, yeah, that's what you quickly learn. And I assume Mr. Harris and Miss Townsend, somebody's going to go look at the body.
Yep. That is the next thing. I was actually going to be like, well, I don't know about computers, so I guess I'm going to stare at a corpse for a while.
My thoughts exactly.
All right, before we get to the corpse, I think we have that generic Sixth Sense roll we wanted to do, Miss Townsend.
Yes, I do want to do that.
Yeah, Sixth Sense, you make a soul check, and then you can get these options here. Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a soul check, because that's, you can just spend them during the scene.
Not that app. I want this one. Okay. 15.
Oh, well, there you go.
Plus 3 is 18.
Yeah, there you go. So you can choose 3 options and usable at any time during the session.
Sweet.
So we're actually
All
supposed to roll this at the start of the session. My apologies, but that's
okay.
okay. Hey, we're learning. Your options are act first in a threatening situation. This can include even a surprise attack. Sense when someone wishes you good or ill, or discover or sense a clue when you're off track. When you're off track. So with that, let's jump over to you, Mr. Harris. You've got Field Agent, which is a combat one. endure trauma, and then I think you have.
Quick thinker.
Yeah, that's usually when you're in trouble.
I'm an action cop.
Yeah. That being said, though, one of them is you have specific field training that would be useful in getting past one of your obstacles.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and roll and see if you got some training. Obviously, I feel like canvassing a crime scene would make sense.
Right.
But yeah, just go ahead and give me a reason check. We'll see what happens here. We'll roll this first, and then after that, we're gonna have you two combine to do just a generic investigation check.
Okay. And I have a +2 to reason.
All right, there you go.
11.
11. So 11, choose up to 2 options, and usable anytime during the mission. So I think one of them is you have special field training that would be useful getting past an obstacle. Ask the GM what it is. So I'm just going to give you, rather than have you guys roll because you have an advantage,
Right.
we're going to go ahead and just, all right. So you look at the body here. Here's the thing. As you kind of get in there and really take a look, he has no external wounds whatsoever. He doesn't. The only thing that he has that is indicating that was injured is the blood coming out of his ear. You kind of there's you there with the gloves. You do notice, however, which was a little harder to see, he has a scabbed over, indicating this happened before he died, and probably a couple of days ago, at the base of his neck, kind of like right around here. You look at it, seems like the incision was made not with an X-Acto knife. Using just very little bit of knowledge that you have, that's where your chip is usually placed. So this appears self-inflicted. Like I said, this is you kind of doing your specialized training. So,
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So you have reason to suspect that he has taken an X-Acto knife and attempted, you're not sure if he's successful, that, you're going to have to scan him for that, to remove his chip within the last couple of days. There's no other additional wounds to him. You look over at the bullet holes, even without ballistics test and all that, wherever he was standing. I will also indicate, I don't think I said that, he's like in his pajamas. He does have, just because we're going to, like I said, we're just going to blow through this here. His overall his state of his body, at least probably pre-mortem, indicates he may have not showered a lot recently. That being said, I'm going to be a little bit a gamer guy not showering. Oh my God, goodness stars,
Well,
that's out of unusual.
He's also a hacker.
Yeah, so so that in and of itself doesn't
I
necessarily.
shower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You're also a girl.
yeah. I mean, we did anyway. So, so he was clearly either ready for bed or winding down for the night or something or other.
We've also been up for days on end.
You don't necessarily know that just by looking at it. He was shooting over near this particular wall, and we're gonna say there's like his kitchen. So like, you know how like sometimes like you'll have this wall, your kitchen comes in here, and then like there's a hallway, just one of those generic walls separating rooms. There's like 3 or 4 gunshots in an area, but nothing was struck. And let me see if there's
grouping
anything
sucks.
else. Yeah, his grouping was terrible. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Was he firing at a moving target?
He could have actually I would say you don't know much about his pistol training, which is probably not much.
Are the shots in a line or in a linear fashion, or are they just
No. There you go. They are clustered. I like that. It is not
It's
like
just
it was
they're
following
not-
something.
Yeah.
Right,
You would
that's
assume
what I was
he was
The
shooting
grouping
at
isn't
something.
it's-
Yeah, he was shooting at something over here and hit all this panel. If someone was standing there,
aiming for.
he either missed them, and they probably could have moved because they probably didn't stand still to get shot at, or nobody was there to begin with. And I'm checking.
Interesting.
Now, did we know Did we know if ballistics has been through here yet?
No one's done any of that. Like they've really just kind of protected the area. Now you guys can totally do that as well.
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna need ballistics, forensics in here to take a look at the body. We do need to get a scan and see if that chip is there. Caroline listens to a lot of true crime podcasts, and
Yeah,
it's
right.
definitely in her element. Would be
Gotcha.
a detective.
Gotcha. So
you're
yeah,
supine. When
he is on
Oh,
his
yeah, he's
back.
on
He
his
is
back.
supine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna need cause of death because
Well, I'm not even in that room, but I can tell you it's no accident.
it's
Also, any signs of forced entry?
yeah.
You check. There is no sign of forced entry.
Detective, tell me again how you determined this to be murder.
So the detective was like, to be honest, we were going through the process. There was no sign of forced entry. But then we ran into the computers.
Right.
We were
right.
going through the motions. It's possible. It seems that he kind of coming to similar conclusions that our victim fired at someone, whether or not he hit at anyone. So there's no signs of forced entry. Maybe it was a friend. We had only really gotten to the beginning at this, and then we discovered that, and I felt it was important to at least get somebody who would know what that was. My police department, we don't exactly have a cyber crimes. Most I
Right.
deal with is getting text messages for evidence and, porn.
Harris, do you think it'll be worth getting toxicology? There's no blood splatter. I don't know if anyone was here.
Well, so we don't have any visible wounds on the body except
For that cut, the scab actually.
Right. So that's not the cause of death. At least I've never
No.
heard of anyone dying from pulling their own chip out. But why would a hacker, someone whose entire life is built up around their computers, why would they pull their chip out? I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had a couple of times when I've thought about it.
Mhm.
Right. I
But-
remember
Another
having a second
interesting
thought
thing.
when I got mine installed.
Another interesting thing some of you might be considering, just especially, probably not so much Harris, but especially the cyber people, is that there are black market chips. Like there's the chip you get from the equivalent of Verizon or whoever, but you can
Maybe.
get it out, get something different, change it. Obviously it voids the warranty. You don't know if you're going to get an infection. There's
God.
risks.
Maybe you got a new
Jailbroken
one,
chip.
but it was faulty.
Yeah, but would that kill him?
What if it made him see something? Maybe. I haven't heard of a program virus killing biological person.
I mean, unless this kid had a pacemaker or something similar, I can't see that either.
I'm going to need everyone to roll perception.
Ooh, I was actually about to try and use my sixth sense thing, but I want to do this first.
I don't think you're not at with the information you
I don't
have.
think
You're
we're
not
off track
currently
yet.
overlooking or off track yet.
Okay.
That being said, let's see what happens. That being said,
Okay.
yeah, all right, yeah. So let me know what you get. What we get? 13,
14.
14. Okay.
18.
Heck yeah.
16.
All right. So I've got who had 14? I heard someone said 14. So okay, you two, and then you had 16. Gotcha. All right. So now that I have everyone's result, I'm gonna roll the unlucky person roll. So yeah, we'll just do. And I'll just re-roll if it gets too high. All right. You know what? What did you get, Mr. Harris?
18.
18. All right. Yeah. No, I'm gonna have it happen to everybody, but you're gonna be Actually, no. Well, as I'm thinking about it, okay, it's gonna happen to everyone. But so the two of you, Miss Brown and Miss Cruz, because everyone else got high enough to the point that it's not gonna be a big thing. As you guys are just going about, your thing, you two, Miss Harris, like your Google Watch, whatever it is we've got now. And let's see, Mr. Harris is wearing glasses. So, Mr. Harris, do you have a heads-up display in your glasses?
No.
No? Okay. Well, then that's fine. It's a fancier piece of tech, but it's stuff that people have nowadays. But you've got a watch, you've got an Apple Watch, it's going to vibrate and you're going to look up to it, and it's got various other things. But what it's alerting you to, and especially you, Mina, is that, let me see what I wrote. Your PAN firewall, which is your personal area network, which is kind of connected to your chip and your various other devices, has detected suspicious network activity nearby as it's trying to access your network. You guys are able to notice this quick enough that if you wish to decline it connecting to your network, you may do so. Gotcha.
Oh, I'm going to go directly downstairs to my boss and be like, all right, this is what's going on.
So my question is, because it's like an alert. Like if you don't dismiss it immediately, right, I need to know. Like if you say no, it's popped up and says suspicious activity attempting to access your personal area network.
No, but I'm still going to go downstairs.
So you're declining? You're like, oh God, keep that thing away? Or are you going to? Yeah, okay, cool.
Definitely.
So as you head down,
show me.
Yeah. So what's happening?
Show you.
Yeah. So that's actually narratively going to make just sense, because the other two of you, because you guys had just enough of success that so you guys actually, here's what's going to work. Amber would probably be the first one to kind of notice. Come downstairs like, hey guys, actually go ahead and role play that for a second. Go do what you were going to do. Amber, sorry to interrupt you.
Boss, Agent Townsend?
Yes.
I just had an attempt at a hack on the PAN.
It's not a hack yet. It's more like it could be the beginning of it. So
it's suspicious activity.
Okay.
It's not actually a hack, but I declined. Everyone else, you should do the same.
Checking my...
So Miss Cruz and Miss Townsend, when you check yours, you guys have already essentially, think of it as like you've logged into that Wi-Fi. Your settings apparently were not set to alert you. So now you're going to have to go in and tell it to forget network and things like that.
Damn it.
All right.
Well,
You guys need help?
I think I got it. I'm going to hand my phone over like, right? I got it, right?
Yeah, looks
Okay.
like it. Anybody else
Yeah,
around here in this building? Is this a...
Are you going to go around and check with the police officers?
Yeah.
I just literally said that out loud.
Yeah. Well, not everyone's as savvy as you are. Like they're like, oh, okay. So, but if you do that, yes, everyone is eventually, except for there's probably like one IT guy that has his settings so locked freaking down that nothing's gonna get on it. But most people,
that IT guy is also practically analog.
yeah, but most everyone, they've got it, and yeah. So do you? They listen to your advice? I assume you tell them not to.
Yep.
All right. So what do you guys do with that information?
Okay, so somebody has targeted this crime scene.
We're going to
And they're
need...
trying...
Well, so it could be that, and yeah, so yeah, your kind of thing is, where is this network? Where is the signal coming
Yep.
from?
Yeah, I was going
Because
to...
that being said,
Can you trace
it
it
could
back,
be.
Agent Cruz?
I can try.
You guys can try. That would just be a normal reason check for any of you.
Okay.
Yeah, like you guys can, especially the trained people.
Or do you want me to try?
So what happens is if everybody's helping, you just get a +1 for each person to your reason check, whoever's the highest reason check of the trained people.
Who has the highest?
I have a +1.
I got a +1.
I have a
plus one.
+2.
But you're not
Wow.
trained, Mr. Harris. So you're going to be
But
like,
I am not
trained.
Okay.
You pull out your Glock and shoot thing. Like, there you go.
Yeah. We'll have
tried
him
to-
shoot the router if it gets that bad. But let's have, I think narratively it makes most sense to have Cruz do it and then we help her.
Sounds good.
I want our tall queen to do cool stuff.
Let's see. I have an 11. So
Okay, so that'll be success at a cost. So, you know, like I just like, oh yeah, make that roll for that thing I didn't completely think of yet. I love it. So you're able to track the source to the essentially he has essentially it's this I'm going to call it Alexis. It's this version of like the Alexa device that is in the house. So that is the network trying to connect to your guys' devices, which in and of itself that, you know, that's not unusual. The unusual part is it just did it.
Yeah.
Like normally you have to tell your device to do it, unless you have it set to automatically just whatever network device. But that idiot deserves to get hacked, and that's not you guys. Mhm.
We really try not to victim blame here in cyber crimes. However, when you have an open network,
If the shoe fits.
if you have an open Wi-Fi called Honeypot, and you connect to the honeypot, it's not my fault that you then get honeypotted.
Yeah.
why don't we just unplug this and take it too? Or do we know where the Alexis thing is?
Yeah, like you'll be able to
okay.
you know, once you kind of look it up, you'll kind of find the thing, you'll look around for it. Like it doesn't, once you're looking, it doesn't become that hard because it's supposed to be kind of a household device.
All right.
So as you approach it, you know, hello user, can I help? Which is not
Oh,
unusual.
no.
Like Alexises are not like, you know, you're approaching, hello user, can I help? Mhm. Like I said, that's not weird. Like
Yeah.
you can be a little, it's might be startling, but like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, as an aside, Harris does not like this sort of thing, which
I
is
like
why as soon as his watch said someone's trying to hack your network, he's like, no, you would have all learned by now. Don't message him. Yeah, because typically, no.
The text response is just no.
No. So yeah, when they start talking to the Alexis thing, he's like,
All right.
I'm gonna unplug it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll just, and so yeah, it'll unplug and powers off.
We can get that back to the lab, I think, as well, and try and figure out what weird settings got it to try and automatically connect to us.
There's
That's
one
weird,
benefit of
right?
the Alexis though too, is you will, especially if it's hooking up to anyone that gets close to it. If there was anyone there last night, maybe the Alexis will be able to tell you who it was.
Plug it back in real quick. I got a question for it.
All right. Plug it back.
I'm
in.
just gonna see.
At the ready, like, don't.
Yeah, like holding the plug in one hand, the phone in the other. Alexis,
Yeah.
how many people connected to your network in the last 24 hours?
So it's gonna list up. We're gonna say 35. 35.
How many of those were in the last 4 hours?
I'm sorry. 35. Anything else, user Townsend?
Yes. Who is the person who usually is connected to you?
User Brian Ellis.
Was he connected last night?
User Brian Ellis was connected. User Brian Ellis is still connected.
That's all for now. Thank you.
Happy to help. Yeah. So Alexis is like Mr. Clippy.
Yeah. All right, and we're gonna unplug that. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that dead people don't remain connected. I think the chip is supposed to go inactive when they die.
So I would say it doesn't. It still broadcasts because what I would think like another benefit is you could find someone even after they're dead.
Okay.
Like, it's probably helps find missing hikers and things like that. That being said, you did have a question because there was the self-inflicted wound of trying to get the chip out.
Yeah.
The chip's still in there.
So why was he trying to get the chip out? I mean, I get it. More and more people all the time are pushing for an analog existence. It's the weirdest thing, but people are weird.
It didn't seem weird to you that it knew your name?
No,
that was very weird. Because
that is unusual, but not necessarily impossible because you guys didn't stop it from connecting to your network. So it got some of your information.
It did connect. It did connect to my pan initially before I disconnected. So it's weird that it would have auto connected like that because I thought that my settings were only set up to do that at home, but I'm like,
I'll check your network whenever we get back to the office and secure it for you again.
Because I thought I only had that set up for a couple other places. So I don't know if that's something that he had set up with this one or if it has to do with.
Sometimes there's worms in the system that do that.
So looking at the time, this is where we're going to wrap up here for this episode. But what's happening here now is I feel like you guys have enough information to consider your next step. You know who his employer is. You know the mass market rig up there was provided by his employer. You know that he was trying to get out his chip, apparently missed. He shot at someone towards the wall. There's no exit wounds bleeding from the ear. He has a really badass computer, and his Alexis seems to just try to invasively enter anyone's personal area or network. That being said, is that something Daedalus could maybe program it to do? Absolutely. But as I like to have things as like TV shows or movies, as like the FBI teams coming as you guys are packing things up, it's loading it in the truck. One of the last things to get loaded is Alexis. And, as they're shutting the door, it will shut, and it blacks out. But then a green light will come on as if Alexis is still plugged in. But you guys will not know that. That is simply for the audience and for everyone to just know. But that being said, that is where we're going to wrap up episode 1 of Code and Corruption. So that being said, I think we are out of here, everyone. We will see you all next week.